So, welcome to Slow Flow today. I would ask you to prepare everything that you need for a good Shavasana. We'll be moving today for an hour and, maybe not moving all the time, but we'll be practicing for an hour. And I would ask you to also prepare a block. Don't have a block, no drama. Any cushion will do, any book will do. It might just want to be a moving block or cushioning to sit on. And if you don't have a block and you might want one as a helper for a posture, therefore a piece of furniture, a chair, the couch nearby, or a shelf might give you that necessary assistance. We will begin lying down on the back though. I just wanted to make sure that we've got everything close by that we might need. And then lying yourself down onto your backs. And the intention that I have for today is really just working with the elements of winter. Simply because of the thread of forecasts that we have. So I would encourage you all this afternoon, if the forecast does come through, to go out and enjoy that last bit of sunshine before winter really hits. But for now, I want you to be cozy, comfortable, and lying down. If you choose to just extend your legs out or rest them over a bolster, might be nice. You could also practice Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of feet touching, knees opening out, and that might give you a nice opening through the hips, as well as a subtle stimulation of the energy lines in your legs. I would ask you to just rest the arms down for now and to arrive with a deep, full breath in through the nose and then a long sigh out of your mouth. Let the next breath in pause at the end of the inhalation and see how long you can hold the breath in without straining yourself. And so that you still have the control for another soft, long sigh out. And now repeat that once more, taking a deep breath in, holding the breath for as long as you feel comfortable, keeping the air within the body. And then that soft, slow sigh out of your mouth. And then let's just spend a moment on arriving within the body, becoming aware of what is happening within you. Sensations of tension or tightness, even pain and discomfort. But also sensations of looseness, of warmth that might already be in your body. Maybe you're holding on to something in your mind or emotionally. Maybe you're very happy right now. Acknowledging that that is right now in this moment. Before you might choose to set an intention for the practice, I've gone back to old habits when teaching from this space, and that is that I've chosen a card for our practice today. The card is taken from the Flower of Life deck, which I've been using for a long time. And the card is now. Breathe into your heart and embrace all that you allow or resist. Feel this present moment as you enter the space of now. Slip into this stillness with an open heart and mind, and feel the honesty of your being. Each moment of your life is filled with wonderment, challenges, joy and sorrow. Allow all things to be as they are right now, and you will feel free to be who you are. Each moment releases the wisdom, love, and empowerment needed to bring balance to every situation, person, or place active in our energy in that moment. If you are focused somewhere else in space or time, you miss the gift. But the only time we ever truly have is now. Be present and feel the empowerment of your truth. Maybe with these words in mind, choosing your sankalpa or intention for the practice on the mat. And it could be as simple as choosing or intending to be in this present moment of time. Raw and honest with ourselves will enable us to practice mindfully and caring. Well, you might keep yourself lying down on your back in whatever shape you've found. Taking your fingers to your ears and just basically unrolling the ear as you massage all around. You can do that on both sides at the same time, massaging the earlobe and then back up around your whole ear, unrolling. And you might do that a couple of times. And when you feel that's completed, just rest the hands back down and feel the warmth around your ears. So it's a simple way of providing warmth for your body. Care for yourself. A lovely winter practice. If you are already in Supta Baddha Konasana, meaning soles of feet touching and knees falling out to the sides, you're in the right shape to start the next movement. If you aren't, please bring yourself into that shape and feel free to cushion up a little bit underneath the legs if they feel challenged being this open. Traditionally, the feet are quite close up to the body. If that's not suitable for hips or knees, you can have them further away. Let's place our fingertips down behind the head. As the elbows open out and potentially touching the floor, lift them just slightly off the ground. Feeling the lower rib cage adjusting back into its natural position. And then lifting your head and shoulders off the ground. Keep your gaze upwards. We're moving and bringing warmth into our kidneys. As you're breathing out, draw your right elbow down towards the right knee. So it's just a side movement. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, squeeze left elbow down towards the left knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right elbow back down to the right knee. And then continue like this. Keep your gaze up. Use your fingertips to support the head. And really getting squeezes down into the sides of the body. It's really up to you how fast or slow you're moving. I like this quite slow and that real tuck into the side of the waist. See if you can manage another 2 to each side. And whenever you have completed them or had enough of them, let's lower the upper body down, release the arms by the sides, bring your feet back up onto the ground and step the feet a little bit in towards the buttocks, aligning the toes to face forward, feet, knees, hip distance apart. We'll go into a spinal movement. As you take a breath in, tilt your pelvis. Squeeze the buttocks as you're breathing out to push the hips up into a bridge. In the bridge on the inhale, tilt tailbone towards backs of knees. And as you're breathing out, rolling back down onto the mat. We'll repeat that movement twice more. So on the inhale, spine flattens, pelvic tilt. Squeeze the buttocks on the out breath, lifting your hips up. On the inhale, tuck tailbone to backs of knees. Exhaling and rolling back down onto the back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, tilt and flatten. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale, lengthen tail to backs of knees. Exhale, rolling back down onto your back. Let your arms now open gently out towards the sides. Let your knees fall to the right and touch your left hand on top of the right as you're rolling to your side. Keeping your arms in line with the shoulders. As you take a breath in, draw the left arm across the chest and open to the left. Then encourage your core and bring your left hand back on top of the right. As you inhale, slide your left hand across the chest and open your arm. On the exhale, embrace your core and touch palms back together, lifting that straight arm. Repeat that again as you inhale, draw the arm open. Maybe your gaze is following. On the out breath, engage your core. Touch the palms. Do that twice more, same movement. Breath in to open. Core engagement, lift the arm up straight, touch the palms. Last round. You completed your last round. Bring your knees back to center. Open arms, drop knees to the left. Touch the right hand on top of the left, arms again at about shoulder height. As we inhale, right arm brushes along the chest. We're opening, maybe gaze is following. Core engagement. Breath out, straight arm lifts and we're touching the hands together. Let's keep going like this. Inhaling, open. Exhale, close with your core on. 3 more. Finding your pace as you inhale to open. Exhale, touch. Inhale, open. Exhale, touch. And one last round here on this side. Keeping yourself then on that side and maybe just drawing the knees up a little bit closer to the chest, placing the right hand down onto the ground and finding your way up into a seated shape. As you come into an easy pose, a cushioning underneath might be nice to have. Taking yourself up into that seated shape where we have oftentimes one foot in front of the other. For those of you who struggle to sit like this, it's fine to bring the legs into a slightly different shape. Let us sit up nice and tall. Let the arms hang down by the sides of the body. Draw your shoulders up to your ears as you inhale. Hold your breath true, and then a sigh, drop them. We'll do that again. Shoulders to those warm ears, inhale. Hold, and let it go. One more time. Breath in, draw shoulders to your ears, hold them, hold your breath. And let it go. Allowing your left arm to extend to the ceiling as you next inhale. Turn the back of the hand to the floor as you're breathing out to bend over to the side. Using the back of the hand as we're resisting to lean the weight into that arm. Let's use our inner strength, lifting both arms up. And then let them both soften back down onto the floor on either side of the hips. Left arm extending, taking a breath in. Back of the right hand on the floor as we're bending to the side. Let the hands slide out, using inner strength already just for the side bend. Core on, lifting both arms. Releasing your hands down slowly, and this time place your fingertips behind. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Start to lift, basically already from the solar plexus, but also from your heart. And if you like, from your throat as well, while the shoulder blades are squeezing, bringing the body into a back bend. We will again embrace the core to come out and starting to round the spine so the head can naturally follow. Bringing your hands out in front. Take a breath in, long spine here. And as you're breathing out, just come forward, but only to the point that your sit bones remain on the ground. You can come as deep as you like. If you're sitting on a block, please make sure that you're not becoming too light on that block, keeping your sit bones grounded as you might lower your head. Let us curl back up into a seated position. Let the shoulders shrug back again. Your hands once again rest down by your sides. Noticing for a moment which leg is in front. Breathe in. And as you're breathing out, drop the ear where the leg is in front towards the same side shoulder. Relax your shoulders down. And you could then use the arm that you're leaning against and lift that up. And just take the hand onto the head. And if you like, you could lightly turn your gaze upwards or rolling just the eyes upwards. We're not really pulling here. We're just using the weight of the hand and the arm to help us extend further into the neck. While you're releasing the hand, gently lifting the head back to center. Take your legs and swap them over. Hands are still dropped down by the sides. We're taking a breath in, and this time the left arm is lifting upwards. Back of the right hand is down on the floor, and we're exhaling to bend over to the side. Again, try and avoid placing too much weight into the back of your hand on the ground, using a bit of strength while you're extending into the side. again, use your core as we're lifting the arms up. And then very slowly releasing the arms back down. We'll do the same thing again with the right arm lifted up, inhale. And on the exhale, bending to your side. Using your core as you're lifting up again, inhale. And slowly releasing the arms again. Sliding the fingertips back behind you, bringing your shoulder blades closer. Begin to lift from the solar plexus to the heart. And choose if you would like to lift through the throat as well. Getting a sense of lifting and opening through the front of the body. And to release that, start to round your back. Let the head follow into its position as you bring the hands back to the front. Take a breath in for a longer spine. And then again, keep your sit bones grounded and quite heavily grounded if you're sitting on a block or a higher cushioning. And allow yourself to fold forward and even drop the head down. Curling yourself back up into a seated shape. Let the shoulders shrug back, the hands land again by the sides of your hips. We've got the other foot in front, so that side ear drops to same side shoulder. You can take that side's hand and place it onto the head, and maybe turning your eye gaze up towards the ceiling. No real pull here, just using the weight of arm and hand to encourage a deeper lengthening effect in the side of your neck. Let's release the hand. Bring the head back to center, removing your cushioning from underneath and finding your way onto all fours. We've moved the spine into various directions. So I'd encourage you now to balance a bit. As we're extending the right leg back, finding a lot of stability here. You can point out through the toes as you inhale. And as you're exhaling, swing that leg over to the left and have a look at your toes. Inhale, center the leg and the head. Exhaling and repeat. Inhaling, find your center. Now you can choose to repeat exactly that or lift the right arm forward as well. And that's the same side. You can use walls or anything for stability. So we've got right leg and right arm lifted. And then we swing both across to the left and turning our gaze lightly backwards if balance allows. Inhale, find center. And two more as you squeeze into the one side, finding length in the other. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, bring it across. Now hold the leg across while you place your hand back down into the floor. Lower the top of the foot down onto the ground. And if you've got the space, just sliding a little bit back. If your knee doesn't like that, do a lot less. And you could also just lower the foot down and stretch a bit over to that side. Otherwise, you might extend yourself fully, getting a deep stretch back and one into the side of the left hip. We will find our way back up and bring the knee back down onto the floor. And just standing here on all fours, pressing down through the tops of the feet, grounding through the hands, Getting a little bit of a lift and engagement then into the upper back as you lightly switch your core on. Neck is in neutral to begin with. We will now lift our left leg. Point out through the toes. Using the stability you've just created, we'll take the leg across on the out breath, maybe looking at your toes. Inhaling, bring leg to center. Exhaling, take it across. Inhaling, as you come to center, there's the option of lifting the left arm forward. So we've got, again, the same side, arm and leg lifted. You could continue as we did before, but if you want to use both limbs, bring them both to the right. Inhale, come to center, and 2 more here. If your balance allows you to play, look still back towards the toe. And after that last one, hold the leg across and just plant the hand down. It is okay to just place the top of the foot down and squeeze into the side, or if you like, you can slide the leg out and release down towards the floor. As we rise back up, finding your all four stands again. Inhale here. And as you now exhale, reach your hips back to your heels for an extended child's pose. Let your forearms come down towards the ground. And if that's possible, just slide along your mat as you lie down on your front. Take your fingertips out wider than your mat onto the ground. Encourage the tops of the feet into the floor. Elbows are raised up beside you. And as you take a breath in, wave up into a cobra. Relax the shoulders down, your elbows down. And now we'll take that a little bit deeper as you drop your left shoulder down into the center, looking to your right elbow. On the inhale, rise again. And then the right shoulder drops down, we're looking to the left elbow. And we inhale to lift that again. If you want to take it further, you could even tuck your left ear down onto the ground, looking underneath the right elbow. On the inhale, then waving back up. And maybe the right ear drops down as you come to the other side. Lifting back up on the inhale. And then release that down on the out breath. Tuck the forehead back down onto the floor. Bring your hands down by the sides of the ribs. Encourage the elbows to stay nice and close. Now, with the tops of the feet still pressing into the floor, embrace your core. It's like as if you were to draw the pubic bone up towards the navel. Push yourself up into a kneeling plank. Then tuck your toes under and extend your hips up and back for a puppy shape. Allowing to bring a bit of space now between ears, shoulders, and in between the shoulder blades. A sensation as if you wanted to show off the armpits to each other. Holding that sensation as you might lift your knees off the ground, finding your first downward facing dog. And I invite you to just walk out through the legs. As we're moving the body forward, feet are walking up towards the hands at the front of the mat. Let's come up to a half lift. Your hands might press against your shins or thighs and just lengthening the spine forward. And then exhale and fold down completely. Give the head a little shake, a no and a yes. Then embrace your core again as you're breathing out to start rolling slowly up into standing. Let the shoulders roll back a few times, finding your stands a little rocking forward and backward on the mat. We'll go and start like a normal sun salutation. While you're taking a breath in, lifting your arms, maybe a mini back bend. Take a deep breath while you're holding the extension of the body. And when you're exhaling, have your knees soft, bring your hands down through the midline and fold into Uttanasana, your standing forward bend. Take a full breath in and out here. When the next inhale comes, come to a half lift. Pause here for the length of a breath. And as you're next exhaling, stepping your right foot back into a lunge. Lowering the right knee down onto the mat. Making sure that you've got plenty of space between the feet. Finding your inner strength as you pull lightly back through the right hip. Maybe become a little bit lighter of the fingertips on the floor. Finding an openness. Take a breath in again. And then as you're exhaling, collapse the upper body. Even tucking the chin in towards the throat and bringing length into the back body. And then starting to roll up a little bit more. Take a breath in and lift your arms up. Let the palms face each other. If your knees and hips allow you, you can lunge a little bit forward, but keeping your pelvis aligned. So that left side of the pelvis is still aligning with the right one. As we inhale here, and then letting your left arm drop down towards the ground and bending over towards the left-hand side. Let the left-hand fingertips just tickle the floor or the space just above the ground. Then again, use your core, lifting the left arm back up before placing your hands back down onto the mat. Let's tuck the left toes under for now and lift that knee off the ground. See if you can master enough core strength to just step the left foot back without sliding it across the mat. That's an art form. So once you are in a downward facing dog shape, let's take a breath in and roll the spine forward into a plank. You're very, very welcome to drop the knees down to the mat as we inhale and exhale here. Inhaling again. And as you're exhaling, just move down towards Chaturanga. Breathe in and out. And then lower down to the mat. And as you could tell, I had to lower down a little bit earlier, so might you. I will ask you from this place to just extend the arms forward. To rest the forehead down or the chin, whichever you like. To have your legs a little bit further apart than usual. And while you're taking your next inhale, let's lift the right arm and the left leg. Keep the length between fingers and toes. And exhale to lower that again. On the inhale, lift your left arm, your right leg. Hold. Keep the length between toes and fingers. And then relax that again. 2 more on each side in that slow pace. So right arm, left leg, keep the length between fingers, toes. Then release. Left arm, right leg. And release. And once more, right arm, left leg. And release. And left arm, right leg. Hold. And release that down. Slide your legs a bit closer in again, about hip distance. Take your hands back by the sides of the lower ribs. Embrace again the core muscles, tops of the feet actively into the mat. Push yourself up for your kneeling plank. And then sit back towards the heels for an extended child's pose. Let's breathe into all fours. Tuck your toes under and the spinal wave back up into downward facing dog. Please feel free to move this down dog. If it feels too challenging to hold, or if you feel a need to create some flow within the body. And please also feel free now to drop back down onto your knees if required. Asking you on the next in-breath to lift the right leg. Press out through the heel of the right foot. Inhaling here. And with your next exhale, bring your knee into your nose. Hold it here for the length of the breath. The whole right leg tucking up towards the body. Then bring the foot forward, but also lower your back knee. Encourage the top of the back foot down onto the ground. Gently invite the right side of the hip a little bit backwards. As you find your stance here, release some weight from your hands and come up onto your fingertips. And then for a moment, collapse that lunge. Let the head hang down, the body relax. Using again the core muscles to roll up through the back. And then lifting the arms up on the inhale. Let the palms of the hands face each other, shoulders relaxing. And if neck and hip allow you to launch a little bit forward. Keeping shoulders relaxed in their sockets. As you lower the right hand to face towards the ground. And with the exhale, bending over toward the right hand side. It's not essential that the right fingertips touch the floor. We could tickle just the space above the ground a bit as we're extending into the left side a bit more. Use your core to lift your arms, inhale. Bring your hands down as you exhale. Tucking the back toes under, lift the knee off the ground, lengthen your spine again, and step to the front into a forward bend while you're exhaling. Let hands slide up shins and lengthen your spine, inhale. And then fold again on the exhale. Allow yourself to remain in a forward bend while inhaling. And engage your core muscles and curl up slowly as you're exhaling. Lift the shoulders to your ears and roll them back and down, arriving in mountain pose. Close the eyes for a moment or steady your gaze. Take a deep breath in and out. I invite you while you stand here to inhale, to take another sip of air in, to pause the breath for a moment, and then to sigh it out. With your next inhale, lift your arms, your gaze. Extend again into the front body without using the lower back to hang into. Keep a lift of the heart, the solar plexus. Then soften your knees and bring your hands right through the midline as you're folding back down and forwards. Inhale and exhale in your forward fold. As you let your hands slide up legs or come to fingertips for a half lift on the inhale, breathing out, inhaling here again. And as you're exhaling now, let's step our left foot back into a lunge. You could lower the heel down, make it a warrior one if your back and other parts of the body allow you to. So we're grounding down through the feet. We're allowing the head to hang down. Whether the back heel is off the floor or grounded doesn't matter. And then we're curling back up through the spine as we're rising, either into a high lunge as you're lifting the arms or into warrior two. For both, the front knee is bent. And if your heel at the back is grounded, using some gentle guidance towards the floor with the outer edge of the back foot. If you like, you can lift again through the sternum, the heart, and the throat. Before releasing your right hand back down. Inhale. And as you're exhaling, bending again over to the right-hand side. The sensation might feel a little bit more intense than it was before. Let's use the inner strength to lift both arms back up, to lift the back heel off the floor. Ground the foot back down as you open your stance for a warrior two. Keeping your gaze, your drishti forward. Making sure that the hips are open, the knees aligned with the toes. And we will extend into a triangle. So while you're breathing in, straighten the front leg, lift the front hand. So it's a reversed triangle. Left hand just lightly rests down against the leg. Let's bend both of our knees, bring the hands down and place them down into the middle of your feet while you're turning your toes to face the way your head is going, lengthening your spine out. On the exhale then, just folding forward. You could again just shake the head, yes and no, and maybe whatever suits your neck. Releasing the weight from the neck and the head. As we inhale, lengthen back up halfway. And while you're breathing out, just bending into the front knee again and sinking in towards the side. You can use your front arm just to guide your knee open a bit more. Then let's turn. Right foot to the front, left heel lifting again. And once more, embrace your core and try and take the front foot into down dog without sliding it along the ground. As we come back into downward facing dog, we'll inhale and roll the spine forward into a plank or its kneeling version. Hold here for the length of a breath. Then on the exhale, lower to chaturanga. If you can, hold here for the length of a breath. And lower all the way down on the next exhale. We'll let the arms again extend forward, unless this causes you trouble. If you like, you could also stick with the alternating of the legs. But what I encourage you to do right here is to widen the legs and the arms again and lift on all ends. So up to you to lift both legs, both arms, the head and the chest only lightly, or to only do that with one side. And if you've only lifted one side, time to swap sides over. Keep holding if you're using both, or take a little pause if you need that. And we will release whatever we've been doing now back onto the mat. Bringing your legs back in closely. Slide your hands again by the sides of your ribs. Tops of the feet down. Pubic bone tucking up towards the navel. Strong arms. Kneeling plank. Tuck the toes back under. Exhaling, happy pose. Your choice now to extend the legs from here as we arrive back in a downward facing dog. Move the dog if it needs some movement. Go to all fours if that's your preference. Let's lift the left leg this time. Encourage your heel to move back so the pelvis is still in balance. Inhale here. Exhale here. Wait for another exhalation before you bring your knee in towards your nose. You're rounding your back, but you're keeping the whole leg, left leg lifted up to your body. Then landing the foot down in front. You could leave the back heel off the ground and bring a bend into the back knee, or you can land that foot a bit out to the side and ground the whole foot for warrior one. Let's move into that by collapsing the head. Engage your core, roll it up. Take a breath in to lift the arms, palms facing each other again. Same here. If your back leg is off the ground, be mindful positioning of pelvis. If the back foot is grounded, be active in its outer edge. We will gently lower the left arm down, inhaling. And on the out breath, bending to the side. Using the inner core to lift back up, to also lift the heel. Let's open the foot a bit more and come into warrior two. Up to you whether your palms are facing up and down. Knee at the front aligns with the toes. We've got the hips open now. Drishti is forward. Your gaze point. And we'll extend this into a revolved triangle. So extending the front leg, as you lift the hand, drop the right hand gently to your back leg. It's like an extended backwards triangle pose. As you soften both of your knees, roll your arm back and down. As you turn the toes forward, we're arriving again in a forward bend. Lengthen your spine at first, make sure toes facing the way your head is, and then soften down into that forward fold. While we're inhaling again to bring length into the spine, let's bend into the front knee, sink over towards that side. You can use your arm inside of the knee for a bit of guidance. Then let's turn the left toes forward. Walk your hands to either side of the foot. Step the foot to the front and find an inhale for a half lift. Then exhale to a forward bend. Inhale, exhale here. And use your core once more just to roll up into standing. Take a breath in, lift your shoulders up. Roll them down as you're exhaling, landing again in mountain pose. Close the eyes for a brief moment or just steady your gaze. Allowing yourself to arrive again in this shape, grounded to the floor, nice and tall. Inhaling. Another sip of air. Hold. And then sigh out. Blinking the eyes open. As we take a breath in to lift the arms and the right knee. Flex the right foot as you bring your hands to your heart, extending the leg back for a warrior 3. Let's open the arms on the next in-breath for an aeroplane shape. Bend into the back knee that's in the air. Cross the foot behind so your knees are touching. And start to lean the weight now into your back foot. Let the front leg cross over. Lift up through the upper body. Open through the heart as you inhale. And then let your left arm cross underneath your right. As you either embrace your shoulders or you come into full eagle arms, full eagle shape. Let's squeeze the arms and legs together. Let's fly the arms out, lift the left knee. Landing the foot down, step the other in and stand in mountain shape. Just acknowledge that the body isn't perfectly balanced right now. We'll hopefully have it back in balance in a moment. So while your next inhale, lift your left knee and your arms. Flex through the left foot, so be active already. As you bring your hands to your heart, extend the left leg back into warrior 3. Let your arms open into aeroplane shape as you inhale. Bending in the back knee. Cross that lightly behind. Touch your knees together. Land the back foot onto the floor. As you're lifting through the upper body, let the front leg cross over. You can always keep the big toe on the ground. Standing tall as we inhale. And then it's the right arm that crosses underneath the left, either for a shoulder embrace or for the beak of an eagle. Squeezing legs and arms together. Let's unwind that and fly again. Breath in, lift your front knee. Land the foot down, step the other one parallel and arrive in our last mountain shape for now. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. Take another sip of air, hold the breath. Have a sigh out. And just finding your way down onto the mat. I really have no idea where time went, and I hope you don't either. If you noticed that this class took very long to get to the point of sitting down, it's very likely that this moment extended itself into infinity. But let us come down onto our backs. Let's take a breath in to lift the arms, and please do put your jumpers or things to help you lying down and relaxing back onto your body or onto your mat, and then rolling back down slowly onto your back. Let the arms relax, step your feet onto the ground, adjust your back. So with that little bit of lack of time, we'll do a gentle release or very gentle inversion by pointing arms and legs up towards the ceiling. You might already, the moment you do so, feel the downward flow. To encourage it, just jiggle a little bit through the legs and the arms for a while. And then hold that still again. Your limbs can be soft for that, just allowing downward flow, even seeing that flow behind your closed eyes or your steady gaze as everything drops back down in towards the torso, your center. And then give your knees a good squeeze into the chest or towards your shoulders, whichever feels nicer. If you like, finish this off by rocking from side to side. Then let your feet step to the mat and get yourself ready for Shavasana. Getting really comfortable now on the back. Encourage your body to be completely at ease and do whatever it takes to get there. Last movements, little adjustments that you might require. And as your body comes into stillness, let's take a deep, full breath in. Have a long, soft sigh out. Allowing yourself to rest. To tap into the warmth created. To feel your feet and toes. To feel your legs. The buttocks as it softens down. Your hips. To feel your back aligned over your mat. Belly rising, falling. Your rib cage. Shoulders. Arms, hands and fingers. Check in with your neck. and the head. Allow a sense of warmth and softness to come over your face and let it spread into the jaw. The body at ease and still. Breathe into your heart and embrace all that you allow or resist. Feel this present moment as you enter the space of now. Slip into this stillness with an open heart and mind, and feel the honesty of your being. Each moment of your life is filled with wonderment, challenges, joy, and sorrow. Allow all things to be as they are right now, and you will feel free to be who you are. Each moment releases the wisdom, love, and empowerment needed to bring balance to every situation, person, or place active in our energy in that moment. If you are focused somewhere else in space or time, you miss the gift. For the only time we ever truly have is now. Be present and feel the empowerment of your truth. Allow your next breaths to be a little bit deeper than the last. Feeling breath flowing through the nostrils again, through your throat, into your lungs. Lungs expanding, with the belly being so relaxed, the diaphragm pushing down to lift the belly gently. And as the out breath comes, it folds again. As you might continue deepening your breath from here, you could also start some small movements and stretching. If you feel you don't want to get up whatsoever, just stay there for a bit longer. Enjoy that time for yourself. No obligation to join me in a seated shape at all, but maybe joining in the mind. As if you do choose to come up, you might want to place your hands to touch in front of the chest and lightly bow the head. If you choose to stay lying down, you might bow the head to your heart and your mind. Right in this moment, we are together. We're extending our awareness to each other.